Birch Polypore is my favorite medicinal mushroom, and my favorite way to use it is in a tea. In this video, I'll teach you how to find, identify, preserve, and prepare one of humanity's oldest medicines and nature's greatest concoctions, the Birch Polypore. Today, I'm in my secret spot in the woods hunting for my favorite medicinal mushroom, the Birch Polypore, otherwise known as Fomitopsis betulina. I drove 2.5 hours to be in this spot right now so that I can stock up for the year on this amazing mushroom. When brewed into a tea, it delivers this almost euphoric, subtle feeling where I feel completely zen, zoned into the task at hand, and relaxed. Additionally, 8 out of 10 of the friends and family that I've given it to have reported the exact same feeling. After trying it, my mother even asked for a Christmas gift of exclusively Birch Polypore last year. So today I'm going to show you how to find and identify the Birch Polypore out in the wild, how to properly store it long-term, as well as how to prepare a tea with it. Let's go fill the basket. Birch Polypore can be found growing exclusively on dead and dying birch trees. This mushroom is best known today as one of the 2 mushrooms found being carried by the oldest naturally preserved human corpse, Otzi the Iceman. It's presumed that Otzi was carrying this mushroom as medicine, primarily making use of its anti-parasitic properties to fight off a bad case of worms. Today, we have a much better understanding of the health benefits offered by this mushroom, but I'll cover more on that soon. Look at this one. Looks like a foot. Okay, so what are you actually looking for to identify these? You'll notice a completely white bottom. These mushrooms are incredibly bug-free almost every time that I find them. So it's just a pristine white bottom. It will bruise when you touch it, kind of like a light tan or cream color. Most notably, this brown cracked cap. It is cracked all over and it cracks more with age. Here is the difference between a young Birch Polypore, just getting its brown cracked cap, you can just notice a bit of cracking, versus an older, very cracked Birch Polypore. They start completely white and gradually get more brown and cracked on top with age. You'll also notice that it gets a brown edge that becomes more pronounced with age versus the white edge it starts with. To me, this mushroom notably smells like wet paint. And though I don't recommend going out and huffing a bunch of paint to get your nose on to find this mushroom, I have a feeling you will notice when you smell it. The first time I was actually able to place this smell as a paint material was when the floors in my office were getting redone at a corporate job that I was working. And I noticed, I was like, that smells exactly like Birch Polypore. And all of my 50+ colleagues were like, what is that? And try explaining to a bunch of Gen X and Boomer coworkers that I go foraging for strange mushrooms that smell like paint and make tea with them. Anyways, so in summary, completely white base, brown, cracked cap, and growing on birch trees exclusively. They start out completely white when young, then they grow up and get completely cracked and brown. And the last part of the cycle is something that I don't have any mushrooms to show you with, but the bottom pore surface, this white surface, completely falls off, and it almost looks like the mushroom has brown teeth. When I found my first Birch Polypore mushroom, it was in the late fall, and the white pore surface had completely fallen off, and it revealed what looked like brown teeth. So I thought, well, this can't be the Birch Polypore because it has little brown teeth. Sure enough, those were just the tubes that are typically covered by this pore surface. Anyways, let's get back home. Just before I make my tea, I have a couple notes about the medicinal benefits of the Birch Polypore. A quick search online will let you know that Fomitopsis betulina has a wide variety of medicinal properties, such as anti-cancer, anti-parasitic, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and immune-supporting effects. The main compound of interest in this mushroom is betulinic acid. However, there are many compounds that work in collaboration with betulinic acid that contribute to its positive effects. Now, while there is promising early research on the health benefits of the Birch Polypore, it's critical to note that most of the research has been done on animals or in vitro. More research, particularly human clinical trials, is needed to fully confirm these health benefits. That being said, I'll go over my anecdotal evidence of beneficial Birch Polypore effects from giving it to my friends and family, as well as ingesting it myself, later in this video. Okay, let's make our tea. Now that I have my Birch Polypores back home, the first thing I'm going to do is wash them. Even though these mushrooms are notoriously clean, I still want to get off any dirt that I can. Next, I'll take my freshly washed mushrooms to the cutting board and chop them into 1-inch slices. You can pick any slice width that you want as long as you stay consistent, ensuring that everything dries at the same pace. Next, I'll prepare my Birch Polypore slices to enter my dehydrator. Dehydrating this mushroom is by far the best way to keep it usable long term. Please note though that you can absolutely make this tea with a fresh Birch Polypore mushroom as well. When drying any medicinal mushrooms, it's important to follow the low and slow rule. If you dry at too high of a temperature, you can degrade the mushroom's medicinal compounds. Although all mushrooms differ somewhat, I stay at or below 45 degrees Celsius or 115 degrees Fahrenheit. After drying these mushrooms overnight for about 16 hours total, I can tell my mushrooms are finished because they snap like crackers. Absolutely no bendy boys in this house. Now, I'll take my mushroom slices and vacuum seal them in jars to preserve them long term. I also toss in a couple silica gel packs to suck up any extra moisture in the jars. I'm using an electric jar sealer, but a hand sealer works great too. It takes about 80 seconds for me to vacuum seal this huge jar. Next, I'll take my Birch Polypore slices and add them to a pot. I just eyeball measure my quantities, recognizing that I can add more with a shorter steep time and less with a longer steep time to achieve a similar result. But if you would like some measurements to go off of, you can add 30 grams for every 1 liter of water. Now, I'll add the water, turn heat to high, and slowly bring it to a simmer. Once at a simmer, I'll turn the heat down, cover my pot, and set a timer for between 1.5 and 2.5 hours, depending on how much Birch Polypore I used. Please note that you really want to keep the water at a low simmer throughout this whole process. The only real mistake you can make at this point is boiling the water at too high of a temperature, which degrades the medicinal compounds. Once your timer goes off, strain your liquid through a fine mesh strainer. I also like to strain mine through a coffee filter afterwards to get out any extra little bits. Since this process takes a long time and some babysitting, I like to make enough for a few days every batch. At last, your Birch Polypore tea is complete. This tea is insanely bitter, so please liberally apply honey and lemon to your preferences. This tea will keep for roughly 4 to 5 days in the refrigerator, or up to 6 months if frozen into ice cubes. Also, if you found this video useful, I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel. And now, for some personal experiences using this mushroom tea. Every time that I drink Birch Polypore tea, it makes me feel very relaxed and focused. Additionally, I consistently wake up the next day feeling brighter and better than I did the last. When I looked online to see if I could find any others documenting a similar experience, I was shocked to see that no, I can't. It simply doesn't seem to exist in an online space. That's what prompted me to make this video, as well as start giving it to my friends and family, because I was curious, am I insane? Am I slowly developing superpowers? What's really going on here? Out of the 10 people I've given this mushroom to so far, 8 out of 10 said it was fantastic and reported the exact same effects that I had. 1 out of 10 said they felt no major effects at all, and the last person out of 10 said it made them feel extremely nauseous. One friend of mine said that she drank the tea when she was feeling under the weather and had a completely stuffed up nose. She woke up the next morning and her nose was 100% clear and she was feeling a little bit better. To me, the obvious conclusion from all of these experiences is that everybody has a different makeup, and you should listen to your gut when trying any new substance for the first time. Especially if you're taking any other medications, maybe consult your healthcare provider. By the way, if you try this tea, please tell me how it made you feel in the comments. I'm so curious because I haven't been able to find this information anywhere else. Also, if you have any questions at all, please let me know and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. I will see you later.